It's the girls' state soccer tournament, state quarterfinals from Husky Stadium on the campus of St. Cloud State University. It's the Wayzata Trojans taking on the Knights of St. Michael-Albertville. Hello again, everybody. Wally Langfellow along with Sig Ligry. And Sig, boy, this should be a heck of a matchup. We've got one team that has not lost all year in Wayzata, and we've got another club who hasn't lost since the second game of the season in St. Michael-Albertville.
Yeah, both teams coming in with outstanding records. We got St. Michael-Albertville coming in at 15-3-1, Wayzata 15-0-3. They're the number one seed. St. Michael's-Albertville is the at-large team from the seedings. Both teams have a really good record. They're excited to be here. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for you and me because it's cold and windy and rainy. And I asked Coach Pesnecker before the game, how come every time we come up here to cover their game, it's cold, rainy, and miserable?
Well, he brings the bad weather with him. Hopefully he brings a good game with him. This Wayzata Trojan team, you and I saw them a couple of weeks ago in the early part of the section playoffs. Boy, they are well-rounded, aren't they?
Absolutely. They are without some key players, but they have this incredible balanced attack. They have, as we saw, they like to possess the game, do a lot of time off the clock, keep the ball moving, and keep the other team off balance. St. Michael's-Albertville, we don't know that much about them yet, but we'll find out. Talk to the coach very briefly. They're excited to be here. They like to pass the ball. They like to keep the ball moving and to take shots when they can. They beat the number one team in Section AA. That was a big accomplishment for them. So they're here and they're ready.
All right, one last question for you, and it's the elephant in the room, the weather. It's cold, it's windy, and we've got, a little bit of precipitation in the air. How will that affect play tonight?
Normally, it doesn't affect them that much. I think with this surface, it's going to be a little bit slippery. The wind is going to be a factor when on any of the high kicks or any of the punts. That ball is going to drop in the air or it's going to take off like a rocket, depending on which side you're defending.
Well, the Mississippi River is just over that hill. It might be warmer there than it is up here on the field. We're going to find out how soccer plays on this field at Husky Stadium. We'll be back with all the play-by-play and color of tonight's matchup right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Just about set for soccer quarterfinal of the girls' state tournament, Class 2A. And you could see just over that hill there, you saw the Mississippi River. It's not frozen yet. It might be by the end of the night.
It might be by after kickoff.
It goes to halftime, yeah, you're right. All right, here's a look at the brackets as we head into the quarterfinals. You see the winner of this match will take on either Edina or Egan, and that's going to be on Halloween at noon over at US Bank Stadium. So, boy, it's going to be two completely different worlds. You're here, the wind, the cold, some drizzle, and then if you win, you're playing at noon on Tuesday in the warm confines of US Bank Stadium. And don't worry about it. They will not have the pivoting doors open. Guaranteed.
I don't think they will.
No, not if they have to pay for the heat. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. This is the STMA starters. You see Mariel Orham in the net for STMA. Cecilia Miller, Katie Johnson, and Giselle Zerna are your defenders. And keep an eye on this club because they can score quickly. You see Beth Schirmer's in that lineup as well. I think you're going to have to keep an eye on number 7, Cassie Schoen. She's led them so far in scoring this year, 19 goals, 6 assists. One thing that has not worked out well for her, she suffered a sprained ankle, and she's just coming off that now. We'll see how that affects her play here tonight, but she is their leading scorer. We'll look at the Wayzata starters. See in goal, Maddie Lowe once again. The Trojans apparently are not cold. This is not going to be an issue.
And they're not tense.
They're not tense. They've been down this road before, as you pointed out. I mean, how many? 9 of the last 11 years they've been to the state tournament. That's pretty impressive.
It is, and this is their 27th appearance overall.
Wow.
As Matty Lowe has some big saves in the section championship against Washburn. I guess in the section playoffs, Washburn and Wayzata had been nemesis the last several years. Year before, Washburn took the title this year. Wayzata took it back to go back to state. So yeah, some pretty impressive team on both ends there.
And STMA is in the dark colors today. Both teams, their colors are blue and gold, but it is Wayzata in white and STMA in the dark blue, or the royal blue as such, for this evening's contest. Underway. Ball played ahead and then right back into the STMA zone. Sent ahead there by Wayzata's Lily Gilbertson. Gilbertson among those, we talked about their scoring, their depth in scoring. Lily Gilbertson, 10 goals, 10 assists this year. We've seen her score in the postseason as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you look down the scoring roster of Wayzata, they are so well distributed. So when they did have a player go down, that was Marissa Kalkar went out with a ACL injury just before the sections.
And we're going to get a goal kick here for the St. Michael-Albertville Knights. Mariel Orham, your netminder.
And a true freshman.
A true freshman. Well, I think that.
I know. I'm just.
Where are you going with that?
No, nowhere. It's a freshman. So a big season for her to be the starting keeper.
Yeah, you see the cheerleaders on hand. Both, as you mentioned, both bands are on hand.
It's a very festive evening.
Knights trying to play it ahead, and it is going to go out off of Wayzata, so it'll be a throw in along the near sideline here for the Knights. Scramble there. That's Taylor Beeler for St. Michael-Albertville, and we're going to have, I believe, a handball, so they'll, I don't know, just a throw in out over the touchline. That was Giselle Zerna you just saw there, number 17. Here come the Trojans, and knocked out a play once again. So how long, when you're in a highly competitive situation like this, state quarterfinal, and you're trying to get the feel for the field of play and everything, how long before you finally kind of get into your routine?
About 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long. These teams both come in ready. I mean, they're not looking to warm up here. They just turn the switch on and they're in full mode.
That's Daisy Miller for the Knights, taken away. Nice defensive play there by Ava Brewer. Away come the Trojans.
Nice patience, looking for an opening, gets it, but missed on that pass. And STMA comes back the other way on the counter.
For STMA, it's Chloe Jensen. And that one goes out over the touchline. This will be a throw in on that far side. There's a good look at Jensen. There'll be a throw in on that far side for the Trojans.
Later.
Trojans take it away, send it up. There's only one person up on top, and that's Gilbertson.
And again, the Knights move it back out to midfield. Played back ahead there by Rena Zerna. Trying to see which way the wind is definitely howling to the
left to right.
Yeah, it was left to right here. So it's at the backs of Wayzata here in the first half. No question about that. There's a battle right out in front. Boy, that's a dangerous spot. Boy, with Lily Gilbertson right on the doorstep there. A nice play by the netminder. As Muriel Orham had to come out and make the play here. Take a look at it again.
The rebound came back into the playing area. And Orham doing a good job of just diving on that loose ball.
Gilbertson was waiting for that pass.
And we've seen her before, so we know how dangerous she can be. That's number 2 and number 3, Emily Dillon, same thing, very dangerous.
And so another goal kick here for the Knights. Orham keeping it low. Picked off there by Wayzata. That's Dietrich. Brewer.
Through ball goes all the way to the keeper.
Again.
It's not really a shot. We won't give him credit for that.
Back out towards midfield. Picked up there by Wayzata. That was Prazik, Megan Prazik. Now all the way down into the near corner as they battle again. Good hustle there by Kalker. And it is scooped up. And it will be, once again, it is going to be this time. Is it a corner? It will be the first corner of the match.
Setting up for the corner.
So we get our first corner and see how both teams handle this.
Be Sam Dietrich, one of the forwards, also a very prolific scorer in her own right. Sends it kind of far outside the box, but
way outside the box, and I think
should be a throw-in for Wayzata, depending on who ricocheted off or what.
Oh no, yeah, it is. Although some of the Knights were heading the other direction like it was going to be their throw-in. The Knights don't hesitate. They bang it out of play there. And so this time, did it go out over?
Yeah, it's a corner.
It's a corner kick, okay.
It's difficult to see down that corner from our vantage point because it's blocked by the stadium seats, but it is indeed a corner.
They just put it in play. Shot towards the net, taken there by Sydney Remark, and boy, it really pummeled one of the Knights defenders. I'm not sure who that was.
That was right in the face.
Oof. I believe that's Christina Hoffman. Let's see.
Okay, here's a shot coming. And right in the side of the face.
That was Giselle Zerna.
Yeah, number 17 is Zerna.
Yeah.
Trainer out there checking her out.
And they may
take her out. I mean,
there may be the concussion protocol here. You get hit in the head that hard.
Yeah.
It was point blank too.
It was, and I keep telling people, you don't know pain unless you've been hit in the body with a number 5 soccer ball that's doing about 80 miles an hour off of somebody's foot.
And that was right in the head. Megan Johnson in her 15th season coaching the Knights. And Zerna will come off.
Yeah, it makes sense. They already had the substitution in. You can see the wind blowing on the uniforms and the hair. It's raw down there. We were just there, and I was across the field earlier talking to the coaches, and it was
checking in for St.
very windy, 11, very cold.
Old Glory is taking a beating up there today.
Yeah, but I did ask Tony Pesnick, I said, why is it there every time we come up here to cover you, it's cold, raining, and windy? He didn't have an answer. He just kind of shrugged.
Maybe it's St. Cloud.
I don't know. Maybe it's us.
Well, maybe it's you. I'm not going to take any credit for that.
Well, I figure. Should have known better. There's a drop.
Wow. But you don't often see drops, do you?
It depends on the situation. If it's a foul and an injury, they'll give it to the other team. If it's just an injury like that, they'll just do a drop because it's stop play.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen a drop all year.
Really?
No. I don't think I've seen one all year.
That's what I remember. I thought I was, you get my age, it could be this year or last year. Who knows?
Might not be this decade for all we know.
There's something that goes first, but I just don't remember what it is.
There's a long shot lead in, and right there is Muriel Orem to scoop it up.
Not much on that one, left-footed. Orem had no problem picking that one up.
No, it's almost like Alexis Hayden trying to place that one more than put a lot of steam on it.
Right.
She's been really trying to a directional type shot.
I don't think she was ready to take a hard shot.
I don't know, with that wind, maybe you don't even need to.
Just take a little whack at it and it'll float right in for you.
There's another opportunity, and Orem comes out and scoops that one up, bumped by Lily Gilbertson there. And we're going to have a foul.
Gilbertson getting a little communication from the head referee. The center referee for this match is Zach Johnson. AR1 is Josh Hartwell. AR2 is Dan Latola. And the fourth referee is William Taylor.
Long high lead, and it's going to be too far, and Orem is there to scoop that one up. So a throw in on that far sideline for St. Michael-Albertville. No score.
Out the line.
And officially, really no shots on. You don't have any shots on goal yet, do you? No, I don't think so.
There's 2 shots.
What about Willie? Did you check with Willie?
Willie says that we got 2 shots, nothing on goal.
Okay, fair enough.
STMA has not had a shot yet, but that will come shortly as soon as if they get possession. This is what Wayzata does so well, is to possess the ball, keep control of it. I mean, their time of possession in most games we've seen like 80 to 95%.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We did the.
Was it the Hopkins game we did? No.
No. It was
a Cretan.
Cretan game, yes.
Yeah, Cretan.
Yeah. And the games we've done, the opposing team only has like 2 shots in the entire match. That's how potent this team is in ball control.
Well,
so throw in deep.
And we're going to credit Wayzata for a good portion of that, because it's been the same story here so far. Nice header to keep it away from the net there, and STMA able to play it back out, but Trojans right there to repossess, and it'll be a throw-in for Wayzata on the near sideline. And looks like maybe Megan Prazik throwing it in. Let's see how much of the factor the wind is going to be too, because the wind, they definitely have the wind at their backs here, and that's part of the success that they've had so far.
Right.
And that one is going to be going back over to STMA.
Yeah, we played 11 minutes, and Madison Lowe hasn't even touched the ball yet.
No.
She hasn't even seen it.
And she's standing out at about the 20-yard line of the football field at the other end.
Right. Yeah, right now, the STMA defenders are really spread out in the back. They normally play 4-4-2, but right now they're playing about a 6-person defense as we have a goal kick coming up.
That was off of Emily Dillon. So the goal kick for Muriel Orem. Well, if nothing else, this is a fun game to play in, because you know if you win, you're inside for the rest of the season.
Yes.
Well, if you lose, you're inside too. The season's over.
Yeah.
But you get to play inside for the last 2 matches of the season.
Goal kick again. You can see what's happening here, but these goal kicks are a little bit low, and Wayzata is absolutely filling the lanes. So it's a little bit low. Wayzata right there to cause a little bit of tussle, and here they go right back in again. We've seen this before. This is what makes them so powerful, that they are always on attack.
And on the throw-in, once again, it'll be Prazik. Chased down now, picked up by the Knights, played ahead right back onto the toe of Prazik here. Prazik.
Ooh. Didn't connect on that pass. That was a good idea, though.
Oh. Played back into the middle there by Emily Dillon.
See, there you see the wind take that ball and bring it right back down again.
And sent back ahead by Prazik. This is about as deep into Wayzata territory as the play has been so far, and it'll be a throw-in on that far side for St. Michael. You see both teams are on the same sideline. They're on that far side over there under those tents. I don't know that the tents do you any good. You can see that the Trojans are huddled up there. That might do you more good than being under the tent.
I do remember one of the games we covered up here was again it was Wayzata girls in the state quarters. We had really high winds, and one of those tents became unhooked from the mooring and literally rolled over the field.
That's what I was talking about.
Look at this. It's a family.
Yeah. Well,
family huddle.
That's going to keep you warmer than the tent is. Let's put
Right.
it that way. I don't know that the tent is really doing anything unless they have heaters back there, which they don't.
So the incentive is to get into the game so you can play. Here's a nice
Exactly.
cross.
Oh boy.
That
And
was
Orem goes
dangerous.
down, and right over the top there
Uh-oh, and
for
she
Wayzata
is-
goes Samantha Dietrich.
And Orem is struggling to get up.
Yeah, she got it right in the ribs. Watch this. Lily
Nice
Gilbertson.
stop. Look at that stop. Nice centering pass.
Oh boy. I don't think there was anything malicious about the play. It was
No.
just a good, hard play, and Orem went down, and
Yes, he center.
Dietrich came over to the top.
Exactly. She was going for the ball, and there's no foul there. You see, center referee came over and was checking on the keeper to see if she was okay to continue.
Just a couple of deep breaths.
Yeah, he's over there now, approaching the
And let's remember, she's only a freshman.
right. He's talking to the STMA coach.
Looks like she's just going to suck it up and go.
I don't know.
There's a shot of some of the faithful who are trying to make it through this weather. We're at Husky Stadium on the campus of St. Cloud State University. You can see the Mississippi River there in the background. Boy, the water is high too.
Yes, it is. It's high and it's fast.
It's high and it's fast. Look at it.
And look at that current. I'm guessing 10, 11 miles an hour.
Oof.
You don't want to be out there with a boat and your boat stops.
Yeah, that
You're
would
in
be
trouble.
that would be a bad thing.
Yeah. There's no way I'd take my boat out there on that stuff. It's just too risky.
Well, you see how much the wind is playing there. As
Yeah.
Orem went up to kick the ball, she had it placed down. The ball started blowing away.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, would she have the opportunity to stop it and replace it, or did she have to do what she did?
You know, she replaces it, or you can just she just
She just went with it.
went with it. Yeah.
But she would have had the opportunity to
Yes.
replace it if she wanted to.
yes. But at that point, once it rolls, might as well just kick it anyway.
Yeah.
This would be a shoved it
Oh.
off.
Okay, so now a throw in for STMA.
That's uncharacteristic of a
Yeah.
Wayzata defense. They don't normally shove it over the touchline.
Play comes back out to midfield. Gilbertson there for Wayzata.
This is what they like to do: send the ball down and
Let the wind carry it.
yeah.
There's lots of that going on. There's a battle for possession there. And Wayzata regains control. Boy, I know as a coach you love to see when it's not there, play it back. There's no reason to go forward if you're going to turn it over. And you see Wayzata do that so often. Gilbertson plays it ahead and right into the hands of Orem again.
Let's see if she keeps it low.
Boy, the wind just bats it down. Nice play there. Good footwork by Brewer. You just get this feeling watching this that at some point here, Wayzata is going to get an opportunity and score.
Well, that's a general tendency, as we were saying before. Time of possession is high, which means they're constantly moving the ball around, getting into the defensive zones and taking some shots.
Long shot there, and Orem gathers it in.
Not quite.
Do I see correctly on your phone that it is 34 degrees?
Yes.
Where?
This is Sauk Rapids High School.
Oh my goodness, that's about 4 miles down the road. So we're further south than that, so maybe it's warmer here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get an update on that because
34 degrees.
That's not right. 38.
I told you it was warmer here. Yep, he comes south and it's warm.
30, yeah, just dropped down to 37. So the chart says we're going to be down by 31 degrees by 10 a.m. in St. Cloud.
I'll be long gone.
I will too. with the heater on.
Yeah, all the way back. Throw in on that far side for the Trojans. We're about to the midway point of half number 1 here.
And so far the Knights hanging right with the Trojans. That's the old story. If you can just hang in there, you have a shot at it. Nice takeaway there. Up to Gilbertson.
Gilbertson
sends it forward. Just a little bit too much mustard on that one. It's going to be another goal kick. And Mario Orem is going to be setting a whole bunch of those. There's Tony Pesnecker.
Coach Pesnecker, 28th season, member of the Coaches Hall of Fame. Was inducted back in 2008. And he's done so much more since then.
Yes, he has.
I don't think they're going to take it away from him.
No, and prior to that, he was defender for the Minnesota Thunder.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's how I met him. I used to go out to the Thunder games all the time.
Okay.
Met him, got to know him, and he was a very nice guy. Excellent defender. You can tell that by the Wayzata team. They're good on defense. So we go back a long ways, about years.
I was wondering what that noise was. Oh, dear. I thought you were going to tell me you played for the Minnesota Kicks. I was going to say, wow, that really goes back a ways.
No, he didn't play for the Kicks.
Alan Merrick and company, and Alan Willie. And
oh, yeah.
Tino Lettieri.
Tino Lettieri and the Parrot.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Parrot.
Yeah, when I was working USA Cup, the Minnesota Strikers came out for exhibition game. And I got to spend some time with the members of the team. There's another opportunity.
Here they come ahead, and play is whistled down. I think we're going to have a foul here.
Yeah.
So here's an opportunity, a golden opportunity for Wayzata. Let's remember, they got the wind at their backs, and they're going to be setting up here deep in St. Michael-Albertville territory.
They're 25 yards out, about right off the hash mark.
Boy,
so
oh boy.
This could very easily go at the goalkeeper. Look for something.
What's ideal here? What do you do ideally?
I would go for the far side upper post right there.
And it's just too much, yeah. And you just so much have to figure the wind in. I mean, it is just such a huge factor here.
Well, she got underneath it a little bit, so it kind of took off on her, but she had the same idea. Going for that upper corner.
That is Alexis Hayden, senior.
See it again.
I mean, this is
checking in for St. Michael-Albertville.
That was good for three right there.
Yeah. Field goal.
That would have been good from about 40 yards out.
Number 24, Aaron Hamilton.
So Orem is going to put it back into play here. The freshman has been very busy so far.
And done a very good job because she hasn't faced any shots on goal yet.
I believe that's going to be over the touchline in a throw-in as opposed to a corner kick.
I think you're right. Yeah. There it comes.
we have as little of angle as you do watching at home.
Oh.
We're blocked. Our vision is blocked there too. And the play comes back out, and the header right back in by Madeline Baumstadt.
Yeah, good job that time by the Knights defense. The center back got in there and poked it away before the Wayzata forward can get a foot on it.
So at what point, when you have so much possession time and you've dominated play for almost the entire match, does frustration start setting in?
Some teams do. This team, no.
Okay.
I mean, I've watched this team for years, and they know what they have to do. They also know that they're playing against some very good teams, and if you look at the conferences that we cover, there's so much parity these days. So their job is to keep possession, wait for something to open up, and if they make a mistake, you should be able to capitalize on it because you have the advantage.
And this one is going to be, I believe, we're going to have a corner.
That's
here.
a corner.
Yeah.
I had to look down and see what the official was going to do.
Wayzata corner kick being taken by number 10.
So it'll be Alexis Hayden putting it in play with the corner kick. Good look at Alexis.
Yeah, there was the way down on the corner.
Hooks it towards, and the hook was too early. And so,
yeah, tried to redirect and it redirected right over the goal line. Here's a good look at number 10, Alexis Hayden, midfielder, one of the captains. There's Orm with a good kick. And again, Wayzata just seems to be right there in the midfield. This time the Knights got in there and poked the ball forward, and now they're chasing after it.
and Maddie Lowe finally touches the ball. 23 minutes into play.
And Wayzata comes up now with the throw in again, so now they regain possession.
For Wayzata, number 5, Maya Turner.
And you make a substitution so you can get your offense set up, get your throw in set up.
Yeah, Maya sophomore, so getting some of the younger players in. Give your starters a rest.
And speaking of youth and experience, 9 seniors dominating this STMA lineup. Now obviously they got a freshman in nets with Warham, but
look at this ball movement. It's just fun to watch.
played back out. There's Hayden. Back out near the approach midfield is picked up there by Wayzata. Trojans able to play it back in. Prazik and over the touchline, so it'll be a throw in for Prazik here right in front of the STMA cheerleaders. Gilbertson right on top of it there. Controls, and her shot is deflected back the other direction. Picked up there by Samantha O.
Yeah, STMA doing a good job of coming back and setting up some obstacles.
And Wayzata will throw in on that far sideline.
And we just got the official word. Current temperature 36, wind chill 23, winds northwest 30 to 35 miles an hour.
Holy smokes.
I'm going home.
Oh, dear. It is a chilly one here at Husky Stadium. These girls out there in their shorts.
Oh, they're moving around. Here's an opportunity for the Knights.
Best one so far. Ahead comes Buckmeyer and has it taken away there. Nice defensive play by Baumstadt, battling Baumstadt.
Here we have a collision. It'll be a foul against
St. Michael's.
St. Michael's.
Yeah, free kick coming up here. As limping away goes Cassie Schoen. And we talked about Cassie a little bit earlier, leading scorer. Oof. And there's that ankle. Did you see her grab for the ankle right away?
Yeah.
And that's the ankle we were talking about a little earlier.
So definitely not 100%.
And she went down there and she was immediately aware of the possibility of re-injuring that ankle that she had sprained not too long ago. Good look at Wayzata's Sophie Triplett.
Oh, she's so dangerous.
A throw in right in front of the buses over there, or behind of the buses rather. And out over the touchline, and it's going to be this time a throw in for STMA. I take that back, it's a free kick. You don't waste any time. Goes right onto a defender. That was Triplett. There's been so little possession time thus far for St. Michael-Albertville. Sent ahead by Gilbertson. Picked up there by Turn. A shot in that one up over the top. Boy, you really have to measure it, don't you? Because it's hitting your foot and it's going about, I don't know, it's picking up about 5 times the extra. Look at that. I mean, the wind just picks that thing up.
Yeah. Again, a little bit underneath it, and once you get up in the air, the wind is going to take it.
And that one is out over the touchline on the far side. So throw in, that'll be Sydney Remark. Loops it up. Knight's able to clear, but not out of their end of the field. Picked up by Prazik now. Her centering pass is to Gilbertson. Left-footed ahead there by Eva Brewer. Back onto the foot of a teammate right out in front, and that one is deflected away. So STMA doing a good job of nothing else, kind of pinballing it out of there and keeping it away from the front of netminder Muriel Oram.
Yeah, they're coming back to make that block. They have 7 defenders that time back in front of the keeper. So that's what's creating that pinball effect as the ball just goes bouncing off one body to another.
Got near midfield. Wayzata regaining control. That's Alexis Hayden. Picked up there by Brewer.
Sending it in.
And a little bit too far, trying to lead Maya Turner there. And it'll be another goal kick.
You know, as silly as it may sound, Wayzata may be better off facing the wind because those shots are not going to be that high.
You may be right. We're going to find out. One thing we do know is that Oram will have the wind to her back in the second half.
Yeah, it might be. She kick it a little bit further.
Just quite a bit further. She'll be able to put it in the air. There's an opportunity, and Gilbertson comes in and knocks it back over the end line, and so it'll be a goal kick once again for Oram. Again, the winner of this match moves on for a Halloween contest. And it's not about masks and costumes. It's about playing either Edina or Egan on Tuesday over at US Bank Stadium. And the championship then is on Friday of next week.
Yep.
Or is it Thursday? I'm sorry, Thursday.
2nd of November.
Yeah, Thursday. Finally, STMA able to break out of their own end. Rachel Sustacek out near midfield and out over the touchline, and I believe we have a throw in for the Knights.
Checking in for Wayzata, number 9, Samantha Dietrich. Checking in for St. Michael-Albertville, number 3, Daisy Miller, and number 22, Taylor Beeler.
You know, not that we're looking ahead, but should Edina win and move on to play, was that if they win, it'd be the third time they faced Edina. And they played early. They played twice earlier in the season. Both matches were tied.
Maddie Lowe with her second opportunity to be involved in the contest for Wayzata. Trojans play it back into the STMA end. And finally some control gain there by St. Michael-Albertville. Picked up again by Sustacek. She loses it. Gilbertson ahead for Wayzata. Here come the Trojans. Gilbertson moving ahead now with Brewer. Long shot and a goal! Wow! That one was from about 25 yards out, and you had wondered whether it was going to have enough, and then it hit the crossbar, bounded back down and into the net. And a great opportunity. Samantha Dietrich cashes in, and it's 1-0 Wayzata. Watch
this shot. It's just got boom right over the outstretched hands, off the crossbar and in.
Just kind of had to wait and see, because so many times tonight we've seen shots that just kept going over the top.
Right.
And that one hits the crossbar and bats it into the net, so to speak. And Sam Dietrich, as you see, just a sophomore, gets the goal. And that is her 10th goal of the season.
Goal scored by number 9, Samantha Dietrich. With an assist going to number 2, Lily Gilbertson. Time of the goal, 31:41 of the first half.
Gilbertson picks up her 11th assist.
Yes. Yep.
The first half.
It's almost hard to track, because as we were saying earlier, Wayzata has so many people that can score and get into these assists that it's really a challenge for any defense. There's almost a breakaway there.
Well, that's just a perfect example. Samantha Dietrich gets the goal. She picks up her 10th. Gilbertson gets the assist. She gets her 11th. You know.
Amazing, isn't it? Okay, STMA needs to get something moving here, get an equalizer with just about 7 minutes to go in the first half. If they have an opportunity here with a free kick.
And so the free kick for Wayzata, and now, or for STMA rather, and you saw the wind blow the ball, and they did just as you suggested, brought it back and put it in play where they want it. Played ahead, Trojans able to knock it to the outside. And Wayzata once again regaining control here. There's Gilbertson battling for it.
See, this is what you want your team to do if you watch it from up in the press box or on TV. You see the Wayzata defense and midfielders moving in unison as they do the transition to on the counter. Ooh, collision there. And
picked up by the Trojans, sent ahead along that far sideline, and that's Samantha Dietrich over there.
Boots it off the STMA player and gets the throw in. Ooh, that was a little bit of a problem on the return pass.
And that's going to be out, and it's going to be a throw in for Wayzata. Now, having talked about Wayzata getting that goal and STMA hanging in really without having any possession time, no score through basically 32 minutes of play.
Yep.
STMA has to be careful not to give up another one here, because that could be
that's a good
could
point.
be curtains.
Yeah, that could be the death knell. I mean, we don't normally say that, but if the team that you were playing against is dominating possession,
exactly,
and they got to go up on you, you have 0 shots, you cannot afford to get down 2-0.
There's another one that is going to go over the goal line, so it'll be a throw-in, or a goal kick rather, for Muriel Orem.
you know, you look at the replay, Orem had no chance on that one. It was just way over her fingertips.
Played ahead.
Redirected and right back to Orem.
And really, and if you look, and we'll take a look at it at halftime, if you look at that goal by Dietrich, Orem did everything she could to stop that.
Right, she needed to be about 2 feet taller.
She needed to be Aaron Judge of the Yankees.
Yeah. or climb the stepladder.
Yeah, or climb the stepladder. I don't know if you're allowed to have a ladder out there. Is that within the rules?
I don't think you can.
Okay.
There's a race estimate trying to get their forwards into action.
And Megan Maleka back there to chase it down. So it'll be a throw in on that far sideline for STMA.
Good opportunity if they can maintain possession, but they have possession, but they're back about 10, 12 yards.
Ahead comes St. Michael-Albertville. That was Buckmeyer. And here's another opportunity now from that far sideline. Daisy Miller on the throw in now for St. Michael. And
do it again.
Should do it all over again. Actually, good play to prevent a corner kick there by the Wayzata defenders.
Yeah, you really have give up a throw-in than a corner.
Play comes back out. This is as much possession time as we've seen for STMA so far throughout the match.
Yeah, they were doing a pretty good job.
See if they could try and get that equalizer you talked about. Here's an opportunity as they come ahead 3-on-3. Sent ahead there by Cassie Schoen. Again, she's the leading scorer for this club this year. Schoen gets right into the mix. And I don't think she knew where her teammates were there. She kind of...
Yeah, I think at that...
She lost track of it.
Yeah, at that point, you're just trying to make contact with the ball.
And send it towards the net, I would think. And that's going to make its way over the touchline. I believe last touched by STMA.
By the Knights. Ball. Tried to head the ball or flick it in, but Knights right there to take possession of it.
Well, St. Michael-Albertville is one of those, or two of those communities, if you will. One school. It's a school. It's a growing community. I mean, there's in 9 through 12, they've got about 2,000 kids in the school.
Really? Wow.
And can you imagine what that was even 10 years ago?
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. I used to drive up once in a while to the St. Cloud area, and it was barren.
Yeah. That has drastically changed over the last 10 to 15 years.
It's become a huge...
The football team is now up in 6A. They're playing with all the big schools, and you know, and that's a sport. Football is a sport where numbers make a difference. And you have 7 divisions in football, whereas in soccer, you're still sitting at 2 divisions. So if you're in 6A, that means you've got a lot of kids in your school.
Yeah, you do. And you also got a pretty healthy competition.
No question. Here come the Trojans. We're down, closing in on 1 minute to play here in half number 1. And that'll be a throw-in if that thing makes it over the...
This could be another goal kick.
It's going to be a goal kick, you're right. 1-0 Wayzata on the Sam Dietrich goal with 8:19 to go here. It came in the first half. Trojans looking for more here. See if they can add one more to their lead.
Yeah, they would love to do that.
Another shot towards the net. It's going to be wide, and Orem will put it back in play. I don't know if I'd be in a big hurry to put it in play here. This is why.
Yeah, because if you turn it over, you're back on defense again.
You are correct, and you're in.
And this is a foul against
Wayzata.
A relatively low foul count so far. Taking a peek over at Willie's.
I see Willie's got some. He's got some new equipment over there. Huh?
He's going high tech. I think we paid him too much.
Apparently. And that will end half number one. So one half is in the books here from the state quarterfinals at St. Cloud State University's Husky Stadium. It's Wayzata 1 and St. Michael-Albertville nothing. Stay with us. Halftime highlights and more coming up. You are watching girls high school soccer right here on CCX.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Well, the wind, she is a-blowing. And you can see the precipitation is going with the wind. And it is a nasty one here in St. Cloud this evening. Temperature hovering around 35, 36 degrees.
Yeah.
The river is not frozen yet, but as Sig aptly pointed out before, and it might be by the end of the night. 1-0 is our score, and really it wasn't wind-aided. The wind has really caused Wayzata more trouble than it has helped them in certain respects because a lot of their shots have gone over the top, and here's a perfect example of that. Well, that actually was a great stop by Orem to come out and prevent the goal, as you saw Lily Gilbertson right in there. And then there was a lot of this going on with Orem very busy, a lot of ball control by the Wayzata Trojans. And Orem here actually took a hit from Dietrich, and she eventually did get back into the contest. But it's Dietrich who gets the game's lone goal. There's another one of those long shots, and Orem able to gather that one in. And then this is what we're talking about, the wind. Look at that. I mean, I think just carried,
Yeah, the ball was just gone.
And then another opportunity up and over. That one taken by Maya Turner. And then the lone goal of the contest by Dietrich. Just a nifty move on the pass from Gilbertson. And
nice pass, nice shot, and no chance for the keeper to get that one.
Very impressive goal by the Trojans, and the statistics bear out the domination.
Right, we talked about time of possession, and that's why the Knights don't have anything to show for it yet. 0 shots on goal, 2 fouls, and no corner kicks. The Trojans, on the other hand, playing their usual game, 7 shots, 2 on goal, 2 fouls, and 3 corner kicks. So they are controlling the numbers and controlling the game.
That's where we are at the half. It is 1-0 in favor of the Wayzata Trojans. We will be back with second half action right after this timeout. You are watching the girls' state high school hockey tournament, a soccer tournament. Oh boy, it just feels like hockey weather right here on CCX. Stay with us.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome to the North Pole. It is windy and cold, and you saw the precipitation, and the girls are fighting through it. It really is amazing. The quality of play has not suffered because of the weather.
No. As I was saying earlier, that the players like to be out there. They prefer to be out on the field than sitting on the bench. It's got to be awful sitting on the bench.
Yeah, this is the kind of contest where you do not want to be sitting. You want to be out there moving constantly.
Right. And then traditionally, from what we've seen from Wayzata, they don't substitute a lot.
All right, now let's keep an eye on this now, because now the wind, and it is a considerable force, is at the backs of St. Michael-Albertville. Now, they have not had much, virtually no possession time in the first half. Much of that is due to the play of the Trojans and their style and their ability to possess the ball, but some of it has to do with the wind, too. And we're going to see how much that plays into it. Already, Maddie Lowe touching the ball here, it took a good, 23 minutes for her to touch the ball in the first half.
Yes.
You could look at how the wind is blowing. You could see it's blowing right through her almost. You know, her uniform blowing backward. So it's going to be a factor here in the second half as well. See if the Trojans can play through that. Chasing there is Emily Dillon, and out over the touchline, they're going to say it's a throw-in. Dillon doesn't like the call. She thought
no, she thought she had it off the Knights player. And from what I saw, I would have to agree with her, but we don't get to.
No, we get to say, but it has nothing to do with what we think.
Right, it's just an opinion on our end. Okay, Knights look like they are readjusting their thinking in terms of getting into the ball, get some possessions, and shoot the ball down, and then go after it, which is what they're doing now.
Battle in the corner. And back out front it goes. Picked up there by the Knights. That's Katie Johnson. And here come the Trojans. The Knights have to be careful not to flush too many of those forwards too deep into the Wayzata zone, because
you can get trapped.
You really can.
Yeah.
And Wayzata is just so good.
Well, they practice and work on the basics, like passing, position, stay in your spot that you have responsibility for.
All right, so what is head coach Pesnecker talking to his girls about, particularly with regard to the wind? I mean, there has to be some kind of thinking that goes into the second half, because it's completely different. It's right. Like playing in a whole different situation.
Yeah, I think he's going to be. I probably told him the same thing that we were talking about. It's an advantage now for the Trojans to shoot into the wind, because the ball's going to be staying lower. That's also a hazard for the keeper, because you have a shot coming at you and you don't know when it's going to drop down or when it's going to go over your head.
And out over the touchline, so a throw in for Wayzata. Toss in there by Sydney Remark. Gilbertson loses it. Back out towards midfield, played back in by Katie Johnson.
Wow, look at this battle. Shoulder to shoulder all the way. Finally poked up by Eva Brewer.
There's Dietrich with the cross right out in front. Here's Gilbertson, and she lets it fly high and wide, but you can see that STMA is going to have to be careful. They can't get too greedy, even though they got the wind at their backs, because Wayzata will make you pay.
Yeah, if you make a mistake and Wayzata picks up, their transition is so fast that they'll be gone before you realize what's going on.
That's Sydney Remark getting tangled up there.
Stacey Miller, number 3, doing a good job for the Knights, getting in there, trying to get possession.
Dietrich. Back off to Remark again, and Trojans put it back into play. This is Baumsta. Back out to midfield. Gilbertson.
Tries to go around the outside. Gets there, but nicely taken away by the Knights defense.
Back out to midfield. Here come the Knights.
That's playing with a lot more intensity in this early part of the second half.
You can see some of the girls for the Knights have gone to the leggings. There's an opportunity right out in front, and a goal! Oh, Dietrich, how in the world did she get that to go in? And she has a pair now.
Just incredible timing. The ball came from out of nowhere on the far side.
Almost like a redirect, if nothing else.
I'm going to see that again to see where it came from, because it was just a poke shot from the outside. Dietrich was right there. Here we see it again. Dylan with the ball.
And then Gilbertson had it, and it looked like it was partially deflected. Oh, man.
He just got a left foot on it and went in the opposite direction where the keeper was, right here, right off the foot. And you can see Omar has tried to reverse direction but didn't make it.
So Dietrich, with her second goal of the night, both goals in the contest.
Here is your Wayzata Trojan scoring. Goal scored by number 9, Samantha Dietrich. With an assist going to number 2, Lily Gilbertson.
Lily Gilbertson.
5:21 of the second half.
That's what you were saying in the first half. You look at the distribution of this team, it's just a marvel. Okay, Knights now have to get back in. They have to get something going now, being down 2-0, even though they have been playing much better, much more invigorating offense. And here we go again.
Here's an opportunity. This time it's Emily Dillon, and it is deflected out across to the far side of the near side of the field.
Good job on the Knights defense to reading that and coming back and blocking it. Otherwise,
but something that we talked about just a few minutes ago, though, is how they have to be careful. You have the wind at your back, but if you have too many of your forwards playing down, you get a breakaway opportunity like that. Right. Wayzata's going to make you pay, and they did there. On the far side now, that's Prazik. Prazik sends it right in, almost like a corner kick there. Dillon battles for it, back to Prazik. And the Knights regain control.
And then right back in again. This is what makes this team so dangerous.
Dietrich, Gilbertson waiting. Boy, you could just see they're kind of buzzing here, looming, waiting for another opportunity. Right. And that one is sent, and it'll be a goal kick sent ahead there by Remark.
It's kind of like, get me in the game, coach.
Yeah, I'd like a shot.
I'm ready. Give me a shot at it. And that's what's been paying off so much for this team all year long. So imagine if they had Marissa Kelker back, a 20-goal.
Yeah, this is without your leading scorer.
Right.
And not just a leading scorer by a couple, leading scorer by a lot.
Huge.
20 goals and 11 assists not in your lineup, and you're still, handling all your opponents.
Yes.
Pretty remarkable.
And that's going into the section playoffs and now into the state playoff.
Well, a lot of extra leg on those goal kicks now for Orem. Ball goes all the way back out to midfield. But again, Wayzata regains control.
Here's a nice takeaway by the Knights. Daisy Miller, number 3, has been very busy this second half.
Played back ahead. There's Miller right there. And out over the touchline. That should be a Wayzata throw-in.
Good call.
And that one is going to be, I believe it should be a throw-in for the Trojans, and it is.
It's Remark with it, one of the team captains. Battle for it, and Knights come up with a nice takeaway.
2-0 contest, a pair of goals by Sam Dietrich. One with 8:19 to go in the first half, so 31 plus minutes into the contest, and then the second one came here 5:21 into the second half. Her 10th and 11th goals of the season, and Gilbertson got the assist on both goals. There's Dietrich again. This time it is taken away. And it'll be chased down there by Elizabeth Page. Page on that far side. Remark. Boy, Wayzata just takes their time, don't they?
Yeah, very deliberate.
This is Emily Dillon. Dillon sends it towards the net and right into Orem, who makes another save.
You know, one of the things that I was always key on is if you're going to make a pass with a purpose. If you're not going to get to a specific player, at least get it to a spot where your teammate can get to it.
There's the wind playing a factor there, blows it all the way down to the far end of the field. And finally out the backside, and so it'll be a goal kick for Maddie Lowe.
That's the second goal kick she's had.
Second of the entire contest.
Nice shot. There's the ball goes.
Orem has 2 every 2 minutes, it seems like.
She's been busy down there.
Yeah, she has. You saw in that last shot some of the droplets of precipitation on our cameras. Boy, and hats off to this crew out in the cold.
Yeah, this is, they do such a great job.
There's the precipitation I was talking about.
That's on the camera lens, so imagine the guy operating the camera.
Imagine the eyeball of the of the operator is about basically the same.
Yeah, I've done my share of those, so I know exactly how it feels. But you just have to be game about it. Knights moving the ball now, and picked off in the midfield, but they repossess it.
Played back along that far sideline, picked up there by Dietrich.
And also,
she of the 2 goals tonight.
And you notice as she went over there, she drew the attention of 3 Knights players.
With good reason. There's Lily Gilbertson battling for it. Played ahead. Nice job by Dietrich. Sends it right out in front there, and Orem comes out and scoops it up before any further damage could be done by the Trojans. Down to about 28 minutes left in this match, and it has been all Wayzata in every respect. They have dominated play here tonight. And you were right. We talked about the potential frustration for Wayzata going the first 30-plus minutes without a goal. Mm-hmm. But patience played through.
And yeah, exactly. And they know that. That's why I said I know this team from seeing them so much. No, they don't panic. They don't get into a situation where they're frustrated. They just play the game.
And I believe are we going to get a corner here or a throw-in? No, it's a throw-in.
It's a throw-in.
Okay.
Short throw-in.
The header towards the middle and scooped up by Orem. Did a nice job using her legs to kind of push the ball up into her hands. And she punts it out about 400 yards with that wind. I mean, it's still rolling.
It's going to go right to...
Goes right to Maddie Lowe.
Yep.
At the other end. I was about to point out when Dietrich was picking up her second goal, you noticed that some of the Knights have gone to the leggings here in the second half. There's a couple of them, at least 2 of them out there wearing leggings now. You see one of them is Daisy Miller has gone to the leggings. Nice move there by Abby Buckmeyer. And her cross goes too far to the far side. Cassie Schoen trying to catch up with it, and it'll go out over the touchline. It'll be a throw in. There's Cassie Schoen. She's had a good year. Cassie leading scorer on this club, 19 goals on the season.
Yeah, that's more than a good year. That's an excellent year.
Mm-hmm. One with 6 assists, but as we mentioned a little earlier, coming off that sprained ankle, been slowed down a little bit, but
well, she's still a contributor. She wants to be actively in there.
It doesn't look, the ankle doesn't seem to be bothering her there. She is right in the middle of things.
Boy, you can really easily see the effect of the wind on the uniforms.
It's just brutal. So if the St. Cloud State parking mavens are around handing out tickets, they're going to pay the price. They're going to stand out in the cold. So if you're going to have a ticket on your car when you get back there, at least know that They had to fight the weather to give you a ticket there, Sid. I don't know if that's going to be satisfying for you or not. It won't for me, I can tell you that.
Here's a shot.
And that's going to go over the knee.
That is actually the first shot of the entire match for the Knights.
And obviously it was not a shot on goal.
No, it was a shot. You know, we give the players credit if it's a reasonable shot, reasonably close to the net. Willie will log that.
Willie does a good job of that. Here comes Erin Hamilton into the match for STMA along with Chloe Jensen.
Jensen coming back. She's one of the starters.
And there's Erin Hamilton.
She's
just a ninth grader. They've got some young. They have 9 seniors, but they have a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are big contributors.
Absolutely. So this is a good program already, and in the future they're building up a pretty solid core. I mean, even Cassie Schoen, she's a 10th grader.
And your goaltender is Mary Orem, and she's a freshman. So
lots of growth for this team.
Yeah, you lose some key people, but boy, you have a lot of 9th and 10th graders coming back next year, and some juniors as well.
Yeah, they only have 6 seniors on the entire team.
There's a play towards the middle and
trying to get control of it in the middle, but things are just not quite connecting right now for some reason. Maybe it's the wind that's deflecting it, or.
But one thing Wayzata does so well, along with possession, is when STMA has control of the ball, they force them to the outside.
Yes, they push them to the outside so they can keep them from taking a centering shot.
Well, they really have done a good job of it. There's another one towards the net, towards the middle of the field, and Knights are there to break it up. Right back it goes, though, onto the foot of Alexis Hayden. A shot towards the net and scooped up neatly there by Orem. There's a good look at Alexis Hayden. Back along that far side, and it'll be a throw in for STMA. And we'll do it again. Well, that's one way to move it up the field.
Yeah, I never complain about a team moving the ball up, even if it's on throw-ins. You're moving downfield, and you're maintaining possession. So you can't criticize anybody for doing that. It works.
And a goal kick for Maddie Lowe.
Yeah, and now the Knights are experiencing the same thing. They make contact with the ball, and it just goes.
Checking in for Wayzata, number 5, Maya Turner, and number 8.
Maddie Lowe with her 3rd goal kick.
There's a look at Maya Turner.
Yeah, she's back in the game for the Trojans.
Back out near midfield and back onto the foot of Rachel Saskachek. This is Rihanna Zerna. Off now to Samantha Oak. Zerna. And just what we talked about. Boy, you kick it that direction, the wind just picks it up and pushes it. And it has not changed. I mean, the wind has been consistently strong throughout the match, and you had mentioned a little earlier it was about 30 to 35 miles an hour out of the northwest. Here's another opportunity, all the way out and just wide. Boy, Orem forcing the action to the outside, but not before Sophie Triplett came all the way in, and Orem did a really good job here. Watch Orem come out as Triplett comes in and takes the shot, but Orem just it looked like she got an arm on it to redirect it.
Right. That caused it to go past the keeper for just a shot, not a shot on goal.
And that's going to be a throw-in on the far side now for Wayzata as Orem just kicked it right out of play. Here comes another opportunity. A shot there taken by the Trojans' Eva Brewer. Picked up by Hayden. Back out it goes to Hayden. Far side now to Prazik. Along that far sideline. Here come the Trojans again.
Nice block. Headed back in again.
And scooped up by Orem. We are at the midway point of half number 2. 2-0 Trojans. They are 20 minutes away from a trip to U.S. Bank Stadium. And the state semifinals on Halloween, which, oh, by the way, will be a noon match, should they hang on here. So you'll have to get there early.
Yes.
If you want to go, there's another opportunity. Right out in front, a shot, and the goal! Spinning, shooting, and scoring, and it is now a 3-0 contest for the Wayzata Trojans. Now let's see if we can get another look at it, but Samantha Dietrich right in the middle of it once again. Watch what she does here. Look
Boom.
at that. Just turn and fire, and the hat trick.
Blind shot. That's what you teach your forwards to do. Just, you know where you're going to be. Just turn and shoot.
Boy, when you're having a night, you're having a night, huh?
And this is it.
Samantha Dietrich with her 3rd of the contest.
Scoring. Goal was scored by number 9, Samantha Dietrich.
So, do we have any discussion about the MVP for this game?
Of the second half. That's the Trojans scoring Dietrich with the
kidding,
goal
right?
at the
Yes.
20:36 mark of the second half.
So the Trojans put some more distance between themselves and St. Michael.
And they aren't done yet. They're still possessing. See, that's the other thing about what I said. They are not going to give up or change their style of play no matter what the score is.
12th goal of the year for Dietrich.
Here
you see her season stats.
Good look at number 9, Dietrich.
And a corner kick coming up here for Wayzata. Just what they needed. They needed that like they needed a hole in the head.
Exactly.
And so the Trojans will put it into play. It'll be Sydney Remark on the corner kick. And you see Maya Turner waiting there.
Left-footed. Expect that to curve in, and it did.
Guess who was right there, too?
What's the next level over a hat trick?
Yeah. Hat trick +1, I guess. There's a good look at Dietrich, and she's looming here.
Yeah. Can we do this again?
There's Gilbertson right out in front again, a shot, and that one nearly rolls in. It was a defender that actually knocked it out that time.
Right.
Orem was on the far side of the net, and this one is headed for the touchline. But what do we have? We got a foul.
Got a yellow card.
Oh. On whom?
It
appears to be on Wayzata.
Yeah, if it is, that's number 10.
I think it's on Alexis Hayden.
Yeah, she's going to the scorer's table.
Checking in for St. Michael-Albertville, number 3, Daisy Miller. Number 7, Cassie Shane. Number 9, Abby Buckmeyer. And number 22, Taylor Beeler.
So you can see where she is there.
That push.
I don't know. Ticky-tack?
Yep.
I think ticky-tack. Come on, Yellow. You got to let that one go. She's just trying to get her balance.
Right. No, she did push off the back of the shoulders, and that's.
I guess.
Well, it's also a safety thing. That's also the same thing as clipping somebody from behind. Used to cause so many injuries, so they started calling those more and more.
I guess. I don't sound convinced, do I?
No, that's okay. You don't have to be.
Trinity Christine.
Fair enough.
Yeah, soccer's a weird game. I've seen more reds and yellow cards coming from verbal assaults than I do from the physical assaults.
Yeah. There's Gilbertson right in the thick of it again there.
Maintaining possession and doing as they have all game long. Just possess. Oh, went over the touch line. Will be a throw in for STMA. Okay, now we're at the point where STMA has to get possession, has to get something moving the other direction. You're not going to do anything if you can't get hold of the ball.
Gilbertson centers, and oh boy, Dietrich was waiting again, and this one is going to come all the way out near midfield, and the Trojans put it right back in. There's Gilbertson again. Gilbertson coming ahead. Opportunity there, Maya Turner watches it go over the touchline. Throw in by Turner, picked up by Gilbertson. Chase back out. And it'll be a throw in on the far side for the Trojans. That's Prazik. Coming ahead, gets around a couple of defenders. Launches it towards the middle. The header is awfully, boy.
That was
off
awfully
the post.
close. That was close. It was over the arms of Orham and almost went in.
Sophie Triplett did a nice job there. Watch how this comes down, and the header there by Eva Brewer.
Right. And they're at it again.
Yeah, they are just, as we said, they're buzzing right now.
I mean, they're just so methodical. There's no panic. There's no, we got to do this. It's just nonchalant, very calm, move the ball around. If you don't see something, bring it back.
Dietrich chases it out there, gets bumped.
Yeah, lucky she didn't call for a foul.
No yellow card there, Coach.
No. It wasn't blatant.
Oh, okay.
It should have been a foul. I agree. I'll give you that.
All right. Fair enough. I'll take half. I'll take half on that.
All right.
We'll meet halfway on that. I'll say it should have been a foul. You're going to call a yellow card on Hayden. You got to call something there. Maybe he's feeling sorry for St. Michael-Albertville. That could be.
That could be it. Yeah.
Throw in here for Remark.
Yeah, it's not a matter of feeling sorry for them. They have a very good team, lots of good skill, and we just talk about how young they are and where they can develop. They're just up against a team that's very methodical in their play. The passing is superb.
Back out it goes.
I mean, they're doing what you have to do. They're challenging all the time. The other team is just moving the ball too much to keep up. Here we have another attempt. Knights bring that one up, and now they're trying to get their counter going.
Back out across midfield, and the Trojans will regain. Well, let's go back to what we talked about, the wind being a factor here in the second half in favor of St. Michael. It hasn't.
No.
It just.
We talked about that. We thought it might be a factor for them, but all it's done really is let a pass end up being a goal kick for Maddie.
Yeah. I'd like to take everything back I said about it being a big factor possibly in favor of St. Michael. It has not.
Well, we thought it could be.
Well,
again, but if you don't possess, you can't take the shots.
It just does.
That's what it boils down to.
It simply does not matter. Dietrich with a nifty pass. Back and forth she goes with Gilbertson. This is Dietrich again.
We're talking about the counter.
Tangled up there, and somehow Wayzata still manages to get a shot towards the net. And Orham is there to scoop it up. So the Trojans appear to be headed towards spending Halloween afternoon at the U.S. Bank Stadium. Ahead with it now is Eva Brewer, and she was tied up there and Play will be stopped for a foul. And so we'll have a free kick here for the Trojans.
And surprisingly, that'll
be Maya Turner.
It's only one foul in the second half against the Knights. That got three fouls total. Matches Wayzata 3 fouls total.
Oh, just a shot towards the net and reaching out and touching it as Mariel Orem just kind of knocks it out of play. So it's going to be a corner kick now for Wayzata. Take a look at it again. Just a rifle shot, low shot, kept it low, and Orem was there to redirect it out of play.
And doing the right thing. Get the ball away from the goal area, even if you do give up a corner.
So here's Maya Turner with the corner kick for Wayzata.
Checking in for Wayzata, number 23.
Waiting for the substitution to take place. This is Elizabeth Page coming in as a sub. Here's the corner, a little bit too deep.
There's a shot towards the net, and Orem picks it up. Now, for some reason, the clock was stopped. So our clock actually has the correct time, although I don't think that they're going to make any adjustment. Officially, there's 11:09 now to go here in the match. But it was stopped for a good 30 seconds there. I don't know why.
I don't know. Referee, I didn't see a signal from the referee to stop the clock.
I think it was just a mistake on the scorekeeper's part.
So again, Trojans going to the outside, bringing the ball back in again. Even when they lose possession, there's always somebody there to bring it right back in again.
That is amazing. They always seem to have that extra person ready to regather possession. Good ball movement again by Wayzata as Elizabeth Page. Page with the left footer and right out in front again, and Orem watches it sail out of play, and we're going to get a corner? No, we get a goal kick.
It's a goal kick.
Last touch there by Megan Prazik.
Oh, she's had a good game.
Checking in for Wayzata, number 19, Emma
Been able to move the ball and get the ball up to her forwards so they can maintain pressure. Coming in number 19 is Emma Watt, senior defender.
Maybe a good opportunity now for Coach Pesniker to get everybody a little opportunity to play in the state tournament. You're up 3-0. You got roughly less than 10 minutes to go. Make some changes, get some people in there.
For St. Michael-Albertville, number 10, Molly Young.
Give your starters a break.
Emily Dillon comes back in.
Emily Dillon is so competitive. When you watch her play, she's just churning those legs 90 miles an hour.
There's an attempt at a shot, a race to the ball. Emma Watt, who just checked in. Back out towards midfield it goes.
See, just no panic, just move the ball around.
Megan Maleka sent it on that far side, picked up there by Trinity Christine. Elizabeth Page. Now you are seeing and hearing a lot of names that have not had a ton of playing time tonight. Coach Pesniker making sure. You just never know when you're going to need those folks. Maybe on Tuesday. You just don't know.
Well, you never know, and you don't want to risk any injury to your starters.
If they don't all have pneumonia after tonight. Jeez. It doesn't look bad, but let me tell you, it is chilly down there.
Yeah, we just checked 34 degrees.
34 degrees
and dropping.
Kind of a little misty drizzle and the wind howling out of the northwest. And The Trojans have not missed a beat. It has not affected them one iota.
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, remember, before the game was even started, we were watching the Wayzata girls getting ready to start the game, and they were jumping up and down and smiling and relaxed.
Loose as could be. Opportunity there for Trinity Christine, and again, possession.
Yeah, and I don't mean that as a sign of arrogance. I mean, that's a
No,
sign of
just
confidence,
yeah.
absolute confidence in what you can do.
And the throw-in will be for the Trojans. That is the correct time. 7:16 to go here in the match. So for St. Michael-Albertville, they have not lost since the second game of the year. They lost to Eden Prairie. Is that right? Let me double check that. No, they lost to Moorhead.
They lost to Maple Grove.
Eastridge, excuse me. So it was actually the third game of the year. Coach had sent me a note and said we hadn't lost since the second game of the year. But
is that in conference? Because I have them lost to Maple Grove back in September.
No, you're right, in September. Well,
I think.
Well, you can read the notes he sent me, or she sent me. It says we haven't lost since the second game of the year. That's not true. So
that could be conference. Center referee calls the foul. Oh, so it's an injury. Let's see what happened here. Number 3.
And just a collision. Oh, boy.
Ouch. Right on the shoulder, right in the face.
Boy, Emma Watt just.
Ouch.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, give her credit, though. Back up on her feet right away after a hard hit.
Hopefully she'll be back. She's such a good player.
Yeah, Daisy Miller has been active, that's for sure. Emma Watt doesn't seem to be any worse for the wear. Maybe a little colder. Standing there now, not able to continue playing. So here is, once again, Maddie Lowe. Picked up by the Trojans as they wind down the clock and move towards downtown Minneapolis. Knocked out of play, and so this will be a corner kick here for the Trojans.
And as the old adage goes, they don't need any help.
No.
It's one of my favorite things. I was watching a baseball game years ago. It was at the Dome, and the Twins and Yankees, and the Twins were playing really well. They had Johan Santana, and Santana was just mowing down the Yankees. And about the 5th or 6th inning, here's a corner coming in, battle for it, and it's going to end up they kept it in. I'll finish that one in a minute.
All right, now you have the opportunity.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So anyway, Cheaters was batting, and he was not having a whole lot of success against Santana, because when Santana was on his roll, he was impossible to hit.
I would agree with that.
And he threw a changeup, and it was probably a hair low. Umpire called it a strike. So Derek turns to the umpire, very calmly, and says, "He doesn't need any help."
Boy, got that right.
Because the announcers, they re-ran it
It's funny.
on video, and you could read his lips.
You could read his lips, huh? Here's Page for the Trojans. In a battle there near midfield with Zerna along the near sideline and out over the touchline. Throw in for Wayzata. And they have just literally dominated this thing from beginning to end. Madeline Baumstow with the throw in there. And now it'll be Emily Dillon. Race for it and out of play. Sophie Triplett, last touch, so it'll be a goal kick for Orem. again out over the touchline. So another throw in, this time on the far sideline for St. Michael-Albertville, or for Wayzata rather. St. Michael in the postseason, they were 5-0 winners over Moorhead, 5-1 winners over Brainerd, and then they beat Rogers by a score of 1-0.
Yeah, that was a big game. So Rogers was seeded number 1.
And all the way downfield it goes, scooped up back there by the Trojans, and they send it out of play, and so a throw in on the near side here for St. Michael-Albertville.
Maddie Lowe hooking that one out of bounds.
Race for the ball. Boy, another midfield collision there. Sent towards the net, and there's your first shot on goal.
Yep.
And so Maddie Lowe finally has a purpose tonight other than a couple of goal kicks. She gets her first stop of the night, first opportunity. I mean, there had been that literally. So with 2.5 minutes to go in the contest, she makes her first save.
Yeah, look at the numbers, and this is not a fault of the Knights. This has been so typical the way Wayzata plays, giving up 2 shots, 1 on goal for the entire match.
Dominant performance by the Trojans, and they'll have this matchup between Edina and Egan. They'll have the winner of that on Tuesday.
Yeah, and that match comes up right here on this field after this game is done.
The shot this time goes over the top, so the Knights getting their kicks in here, but boy, the wind has just been, if you put it in the air, it's going to fly. Maddie Lowe kicking into the wind here. Trojans just knock it out over the touchline. That was Emma Watt doing it. And ahead it goes. Nice job there by Emily Dillon to play it back out to midfield. Here's the centering pass, and Madison Lode comes out, and she says, I better pick this thing up. Keep that shutout intact.
Yeah, that's
another shutout for the Trojans.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the we're at halftime of the number of shutouts is just phenomenal. Well, just
13 of them, by the way, so this will be 14 on the year. 14 shutouts.
That's pretty good.
They have not allowed more than a goal in any contest all season. And you have 14 shutouts.
Yes.
You're going to win a lot of soccer games that way.
Well, you're not going to lose.
No. Another opportunity right out in front, and
almost tipped in. And
yeah, almost got another.
Orham is down. I'm going to stop the clock and tend to her. Horse is down this time pretty hard.
She again got into a collision here.
Well,
oh, looks like she got stepped on.
Yeah. She was reaching for the ball and ended up going down.
Well, she has taken her lumps tonight back there.
Certainly has. She's done a great job.
Yeah, I'm not sure that any of those goals would have been stopped by
anybody. No. No matter how good you are.
No. Maybe one of them, but there's a couple of those were just unstoppable.
Yeah, there's just no way.
Those 3 goals by Sam Dietrich. All 3 goals tonight by Samantha Dietrich. 1 in the first half and 2 here in the second half. And now with officially 19 ticks left on the clock, they stop play. Let's take a look again at the injury. She goes down here, and she got stepped on there? Or?
I couldn't tell. Either she got.
Maybe the knee hit her in the head. Possibly, that's the only thing I can think of.
I don't think so.
Sophie Triplett's knee might have hit her in the head. I think.
Let's take one more look at that.
Let's see. The only thing I could think of is that her...
Okay, here she goes down.
See, Triplet's knee right there.
Could be, or she just fell hard on her right side, on her arm. Remember, she was injured before.
Yeah. You know, she's responding to the medics' questions, so that's all good. Trojans trying to keep warm, if nothing else, at this point.
Yeah, this is tough for them. They're not moving.
Yeah, you're not moving. You know what though? They're all smiles. They're up 3-0, Coach, with 19 seconds to go.
They know the outcome of the game.
Yeah, they sure do.
But while we have an opportunity, congratulations to STMA for getting into the state tournament. Played a very good season.
So Orem will come out. We'll see the senior Corey Lemire here for the final 19 seconds.
And again, looking at the stats, for the final stats, 3 shots for STMA, 1 on goal. For Wayzata, 17 shots, 7 on goal, 3 in. And there's the senior.
Well, a good opportunity for Corey to get into the contest at least.
Yep.
You know, it certainly isn't the way you want to come in, but...
Well, bottom line, you got to play in the state tournament.
We get the final 19 seconds of this state tournament on her resume. Free kick here. And the clock will wind down here the final 19 seconds of the match. Played ahead on the far side. I think everybody is just willing to just let the clock run out. No more injuries. No more goals. And no more season for St. Michael-Albertville. Their season will come to an end with a 15-4-1 record. And the Wayzata Trojans move to 16-0-3. As I mentioned, they've only given up 1 goal on 4 occasions this year. Let's take a look at the brackets now for the state tournament. As we said, Wayzata moving into the state semifinals. They'll play at noon on Halloween at US Bank Stadium. And as I said earlier, mark my words, the pivoting doors will not be open.
So here we are at the end of this broadcast and the end of the soccer season for CCX.
Take a look at the bottom of the bracket before we let you go. Here you see Andover has been eliminated, so Lakeville North is also into the semifinals. So we have 2 of the 4 decided. The other 2 will be decided by the end of the night. And Coach Pesnicker and the Trojans are headed to US Bank Stadium. Should be an interesting matchup for them against either Egan or Edina.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks to everybody for helping us with these broadcasts all season long. Thanks to our great crew out in the cold here at Husky Stadium in helping put this broadcast on for you. For Sig Lightgreen, I'm Wally Langthal. Again, reminding you the final score, Wayzata 3, St. Michael-Albertville 0. Have a good night, everybody.